before we were saying about how we should stay inquisitive in this process of bhakti, but this is completely contrary to how the other religions preach about spirituality, because most of the other religions start with placing faith on either their scriptures or God, and then you'll probably realize the God. So why is it different for one? Which one is the right one?
Yeah, the question of right and wrong is perhaps it should not be put in that manner, because unfortunately the modern times, the way our mind works is that we only process, so this is the right, this is the wrong, but we can see from the perspective of different grades maybe. Yeah, so that's better perhaps, rather than telling that, oh, this is a wrong process. Maybe it does work for somebody, but at least from the Vedic perspective, as we were discussing, the entirety of spirituality starts with the foundational question, or it is supposed to be starting with the foundational question: who am I? One has to be inquisitive about Brahman, consciousness. Right? The entirety of Gita, the entirety of Upanishads, they deal with this aspect of it. Right? So, why to be inquisitive about Brahman? In general, everybody is inquisitive, not that people are not inquisitive. So, jijnasa is the deep desire to know. Jnatum ichha jijnasa. So, one is having a serious desire to know. But now in our lives, we are seriously inquisitive about ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithuna. That's what in general everybody is inquisitive about. How do I have a sophisticated, more better way of living a life? This statement which I quoted from Vedanta Sutras is really interesting. It is athatho brahma jijnasat. It starts with therefore. Now imagine you are talking with somebody, you're writing something. It almost doesn't make sense if you start with therefore. Right? Imagine, just open, therefore. Right? It doesn't make sense. There is no previous anything which you have told. It sort of connects this word, therefore. So, it's interesting how it starts. Therefore, be inquisitive about Brahman. Right? And when I ask people, what do you think about it? People really fail to grasp the foundational aspect that therefore is not referring outside, it's referring inside. Because you are a human, if you want yourself to be called as a human, Nara.
Yeah.
A Nara has the instrument to question, therefore question. If you don't even have an instrument, how will you use it? It's just impossible. Imagine you have a Mercedes Benz your home, or a Rolls Royce, doesn't matter, whichever, most sophisticated car in the world. Let's say you have it in your garage and you never use it. It's just there. It is as good as not having it, right? Right?
Unless you take pictures with it.
Yeah, let's say it just is there, just eating dust, right? Even taking pictures, like, that's not the use of the car, right? It's as good as not having it. And if you just have it, yeah, I can show to the world that I have a really nice car, but taking pictures is not the use of the car, right? So I can show to the whole social media, yeah, I have the best car here, amazing, but not the use of the car. You need to use it. If you don't use it, it's as good as not having it. So now, if we need to call ourselves as a Nara, we need to use the buddhi, the seeking, the questioning, not just on basic instincts of life of eating, mating, sleeping, defending. Everybody asks these questions. All the species of lives, they ask these questions. They can use their rational intelligence in figuring out. Now I always tell, you will never find a tiger which will become vegan if it is hungry. Right? See, yeah, okay, I have been fasting since last few days, didn't get any food. I'll eat this plant. No tiger will do it. It can die hungry. Right? Not become. You may also try to go and sit in front of tiger and start telling, Oh, you should not eat this, don't eat meat. Be a vegan.
How can you kill them?
Yeah, how can you kill? It has a father, mother, life, maybe having its own plans of life. Don't kill all these deers and rabbits and all these things. And then tiger will say, thank you. You are here. I will eat you. You know. So you will perhaps be the next dinner or the lunch for a tiger. It just doesn't have this kind of ability to think beyond eating, mating, sleeping, defending. A Nara can. The question is, coming back to the example of bands, if you have bands, why not just use it? Okay? Why to make it eat dust? So we are so proud about our sophistication in modern life that everything is really, especially in the western part of the world, things look really bright, shiny, and life is good, comfortable, but what's the use unless we really ask the foundational question of life? You see, an elephant is eating. A grown-up elephant is perhaps 3 to 4 tons. That's 3,000 kilos. It eats perhaps 200, 300 kilos per day. The activity of eating, the satisfaction sort of it derives out of eating is the same, and between that animal and a human being who is eating in the best of the restaurants, perhaps the best of the sophisticated arrangement, but the activity is the same. Once you sleep, doesn't matter whether you're sleeping in the best of the cushions, beds. A dog is sleeping, perhaps. In India, there are stray dogs. They lie down on the street. Once they sleep. Right? So until you sleep, perhaps there is a lot of some effects. But once you sleep, you sleep. So you can't really distinguish the activity in itself. They're the same. Now the question is, what am I different in then? So Mahabharata says, you are different in the practice of dharma. That's something which is above and beyond. And then dharma is sort of loosely translated in the modern terms as religions, but then they are not. Religion is not dharma. Dharma is the inherent characteristic, the inherent quality of who you are. Like the sugar, it has sweetness. It's the dharma of sugar. The fire has light and is heat producing. So that's the dharma of fire. So the question is then, what is your dharma, right? And that should sort of lead you to ask, oh, that's the purpose of life in another way of answering. But then purpose of life comes later once you understand who you are. If you don't even know who you are, how do you figure out the purpose of life, right? So people always come to me and tell, we have achieved so much. There is like so much of wealth in my family, having family, good family now, husband, children, wife, whatever, nice facilities. But then I just don't know what's the purpose of my life, and sort of midlife crisis people call it. They start thinking it is real, but it is not just in getting to the next step in career or in occupation. And asking, what is that which is missing? This questioning is missing. This seeking is missing. And that seeking cannot be just faith-based, or belief-based, that you just tell. We can tell Archita is God from today. Right? We can tell. What's stopping us? We can tell. She is the God. Maybe, if we just really propagate it in a way that people start coming, maybe, we can establish her as a deity in a temple. That she sits and everybody comes and throws flowers, and let's say somebody is coming and asking, I want a promotion in my life, in my career. Somebody else is coming and telling, I want a nice husband or a wife. And somebody else is coming, I'm really seeking to have a child. It's not happening, please give. And then Archita will say, she's giving, sure, you will get it. If 1,000 people come and ask like that, at least for a few, it will happen for sure, right? And this is in Sanskrit, it's called as kakataliya. Crow is flying and somehow it comes and falls, somehow sits on the branch of the tree and the branch breaks. Now the crow can think, see,
Wow.
I'm so powerful, I can break the branch of the tree, but then it's just kakataliya. So if 1,000 people come, 10,000 people come, enough people will get their desires fulfilled with their worship of Archita. But what is this based on? Right? What exactly is this based on? So just believe that she's God. How? Yeah, some people are telling you go to her and then ask, things happen. So Vedic life does not begin with belief, begins with questioning. Faith comes later. We're not telling that there's no faith, but it will come later. Has to be experiential. It cannot be that I just believe and go. Also cannot be so cheap that I just achieve something materially and then this has to be it. Especially in India, also in other places, people are just window shopping, going here, going there, going 100 different places, then are having a deep desire to achieve something and somehow somewhere click. Right? In a place in India, there is a visa deity. If somebody is wanting to go to US, yeah, it's really difficult to get a US visa, right? But there's the deity here. You go and worship, they think you get your US visa. These things are really not how spirituality is built up. Right? This is not spirituality. It cannot be spirituality because it is having innate desire as material accomplishment. It cannot be spirituality. Material accomplishments, the desires, the ambitions need to really take a backseat in spirituality. To start with this question, who am I? So the entire Gita, you see, in the second chapter, Arjuna tells to Krishna, कार्पण्य दोषोपहत स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्म सम्मूढ़ चेतः यत् श्रेयः स्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम्. Arjuna tells to Krishna, I'm surrendering. Take me as your disciple, Shishya. Tell me in conclusion, absolute fixed way, Nishchita. What is the Shreya, long-term beneficial goal for my life? What should I do? So Arjuna had surrendered. If Krishna would have taken the approach of many of the world religions today, Krishna would have told, you're a fool. You just accepted. Karpanya doshopahata swabhavaha pritchami tvam dharma sammudha chetah. My consciousness is a foolish consciousness right now. Just self-obsessed. When the student has already accepted that they're a fool number one, the best fool around, also have accepted, you know everything, I'm surrendering. If Krishna would have taken the approach of many of the world religions, he would have told, yeah, you're a fool. You accepted that I'm a teacher right now, you're my student, and you're a fool. Just do this. Surrender to me. Go and fight. Right? Logical, right? Yeah. And Krishna did not take that approach. Krishna engaged in the entire conversation. To understand that the setup of Gita was not in a library. It was not in a setup wherein it's a philosophical discussion going on. It's a battlefield. In the battlefield, Krishna still engaged in a logical, rational dialogue. The first teaching of Krishna is not about himself, that yeah, I'm God. Krishna speaks about who you are to begin with. And it's not just about Arjuna, it's about all of us. Who are we? Krishna speaks about the kind of prakriti we live in, which is filled with duality. Krishna speaks about karma, what sort of activities you should be doing, what is the consciousness with which you should perform any activity. He speaks about kala, the time aspect. And then he speaks about Ishvara, the supreme controller, the supreme enjoyer, the supreme proprietor. So Gita takes a very logical, rational approach. So we're not saying that there is no faith. There will be faith. Right? Faith, perhaps, if someone is doing something, you don't experience anything, there is perhaps never faith. But then faith in our tradition is something which is experienced, it becomes faith. Right? You don't need to have faith that you have parents. Right? Is it faith, Archita, that you have parents? You know that. Right? They have taken care of you. They have really nourished your body, your life, your entire, however you wanted to grow. They have given an opportunity. So there is no faith. And it's reality. You have experienced it. So in our experience, it has to begin with sincerity. So the Shastras tell that this whole process begins with Shraddha. Shraddha can have multiple interpretations, multiple meanings, can become faith. In this context, it is sincerity. And then from there, once you are sincerely seeking, as I said at the beginning, the universe is arranged. You don't need to believe. The universe is set up like this. The creation is like this. Anybody who is sincerely seeking will be shown the door, an opportunity. You have in Srimad Bhagavatam the story of Dhruva. He was searching in the forest. His mother told him, I can't help you. Narayana can help you. You should go and get an answer from Narayana. He was there. Where can I find Narayana? Asking the trees, the plants, the birds. When the universe saw that there's a sincere guy, Narada Muni appears there. Right? So Krishna sends Narada to help because there is a sincere seeker here. And we should know really that this can happen in my life as well. I don't need to blindly just believe. See, Vedic life is not just life of belief. It's the foundational difference between Vedic life and all the modern way of religions, which also includes some of the times or majority of the times modern Hinduism. It's not faith-based. You don't need to just believe. You need to start asking questions. Seek the worth of life. What exactly is having the artha? Something which has real meaning in life. What is it? You start seeking this, suddenly the entirety of approach for life changes, and it's not just a statement. This is how it is, and anybody can put this into practice, and you will see. We are not saying that you need to believe. Be a sincere seeker. That's why even an atheist will have a place in Sanatana Dharma. Right? Not that we are throwing them off. Because this whole concept of theist, atheist is from Roman Catholicism. That you have to believe in something, don't believe in something. Right? But why to believe? The science, on the opposite hand, they are the ones who are offshoot of this ideology that no, we don't want to believe. Yeah. Right? So when you think about religion or spirituality and science, they're always at like opposite ends of it, because one is faith-based, the other is based on rational questioning. But then Vedic life is rational questioning. It is not based on just belief. When you start exploring this, when you start having a spiritual path, when you find your spiritual teacher who is authorized, eventually you will experience, and then it's faith. Entirety of Vedic literature is personal experience of someone or the other. All of it. Right? Srimad Bhagavatam is a dialogue between Parikshit and Shukadev. It's a dialogue, experiencing it. Inside, there comes stories of multiple individuals, like that of Dhruva, that of Prahlad, Yudhishthir, Arjuna, Kunti, Bhishma, Chitraketu, Ambarish, so many personalities. Their life history, what happened, how did they live. Every single Upanishad is a dialogue. Somebody is asking, somebody is answering based on their understanding of knowledge. Every single mantra is realized in someone's heart. It's to understand that there is a significant thing which we can offer to the world. If we can at least understand that I can be fitting, anybody can be fitting in this form of life. There is no one who needs to go out. Entirety of mankind can live under this umbrella of Sanatana Dharma. Entirety of mankind. Yeah. Because we are not telling that, oh, you can't have this kind of whatever. Yeah, people of all sorts of background can come and stay, because the question is the innate question of a human existence. Who am I? As long as you start asking that, eventually you will reach. Now, if someone doesn't want to ask that question, someone want to ask from who is God, I would say is a wrong way of dealing it. Right? I don't even know who you are. How can you even figure out who is God? So, in our understanding, the realization of God, the supreme divinity, and the realization of self happen simultaneously. Right? So, it's not something different. But you can't start from the question of who is God, because you don't even know who you are. What makes difference is that when you start asking who you are, you become sincere. You need to become sincere. You need to have a strong process to follow. You need to have um, a lifestyle which is aiding in this question. Who is God? If someone is only wondering about that, they can be also sincere. But then, question is, what sort of lifestyle modification will that question impose? Because you don't even know who you are. How sincere can I be when I don't even know who am I? So eventually you will get there. You'll start asking this question. It has to be sincere. That's the path of Gita. That's the path of the Upanishads. So once someone crosses this threshold, then a beautiful life is awaiting when you understand who you are. It cannot be just theoretical. It can't be that, yeah, I have read it. I know I'm Atma. There's the realization about it. And that's where it makes the biggest difference. Is it just about me reading about it? No, you're not the body. You go and ask majority of followers of our institution, they will tell, yeah, I'm not this body. I read Gita. But is it realized? That's the most important thing. Unless I realize and to understand, I'm at the very low level, really low. I've not yet really come to the platform of human existence. Yeah. Spirituality or bhakti process is not something which is just imagination. I just think about it. Right? I'm a devotee. I'm a devotee of Krishna. I serve Krishna. It can't be just imagination. It has to be real. And it should all begin with sincere questioning. After that, you get into right sort of association, practice, you have your lifestyle aligned with your quest. Eventually, you will get to a stage wherein the heart gets purified, which is overlooked in majority of the religious practices in the modern world. I need to be qualified. I can't be just philosophizing things and I want to get to know everything. Heart needs to be purified. In Sanskrit, it's called as anartha nivritti. Anartha. Artha means that which has worth, which has value. Anartha, having something which is having no value. Nivritti. You have taken retirement from all the things which are having no value in life, such as the lust, anger, greed, envy, illusion, all these things which are troubling the mind, troubling ourselves, need to go away. And they won't just disappear just like that. Put some efforts there. Right? So once that stage is crossed, then you get experience of it, and that's when you get real faith. You will have faith then. But that faith is not shaky anymore. It's really, okay, this is how it is. Just like I don't need to have faith that you both are sitting here. Right? This is how it is. It's just how it is. It's not just faith. Right? It's not just belief that Archita is here, Sweda is here. It's not belief. Right? This is how it is. So that's how it becomes. You actually see, you live. Oh, I have experienced it. I know what is purity. You live in purity. And then it continues. Yeah. to say about it?